Hello once again, my name is Jose Trujillo. I'm a fine art artist. I'm coming to you from my art studio, and I want to talk to you about, I look like a Gustave Courbet with this. I'm looking myself in the camera. I'm talking about some self-tips and strategies for artists and stuff that may help you in your career. I hope it does. It has helped me tremendously. I wish I had someone telling me this stuff throughout my art business and career. Unfortunately, I didn't. I had to go look on other industries and learn this stuff. There was no one. Believe me, I looked. I would spend hours online. There's no one who would give you the package and talk to you openly about what, There's people now doing stuff like that, but I make a full-time living as an artist. I support my family with this, and I have authority on the subject. I do. I wouldn't feel comfortable telling you this stuff. First, I went and I made a living, a full-time living, and then I started making these videos a few years after, 5 years after, So I just want to share some stuff with you, and why not? If it helps you, it helps you. If it doesn't, well, put it aside and continue your travels. I want to tell you today about having fun. This is a lonely road for many, because you're not only an artist, it's already an isolated type of workspace industry. You're kind of by yourself. You're a photographer, you're out in the wild, or you're a plein air painter, you're also out in the wild, or whatever it is that you do. If you're a studio artist, you're in your studio by yourself most of the time. And so it's an isolated type of thing. If you're a musician, for the most part, I was a musician. I guess I still am, but I used to play. And for the most part, you're isolated too. I remember, unless you're playing shows and blah blah blah, the nightlife, all that shit that doesn't benefit your business and career. But it's mainly isolated, right? So you could easily go you start introspecting a lot, and that's good. You start growing. But at the same time, it starts fucking with your head, So what you want to do is you want to be able to have an attitude, a positive attitude, and remind yourself. I keep stuff all the time around my studio that reminds me. I used to keep Post-its until I was like, why am I keeping Post-its to remind me? They're stupid. They're so little. I have to go there physically and try to read them. So I started making posters, So now I keep posters around from those Instagram quotes by famous artists or whatever. Well, I have some of those I made myself, and I keep them. I keep by Brendan Bouchard, and he's not an artist, but I love his content nonetheless. By Grant Cardone, by different salespeople and artists also. I love some by Warhol. I have one by Studio that says, just paint. Don't worry about it. Just paint. One of the quotes. It doesn't say that exactly. I'm giving you a loose translation. But you want to be able to keep it fun. This is what this topic is. I know I go around. I'm an artist. I can't. I go around the subject. But you want to be able to keep fun. You want to keep the environment fun. And this might cost you an arm and a leg. In the beginning, it's easy to keep fun because ignorance is bliss. It's okay, right? You don't know what's happening. Maybe you're not sure of what the actual numbers need to be. For example, in the beginning, you get some sort of you start winning, right? You sell a painting a month here and there, and you're like, yeah. But then you realize, oh man, I can't live with this. This is not enough to live with, to make a living. And then you start thinking about numbers, and then that ignorance kind of goes away for a little bit. And now you have to get serious, very serious, because at first you thought you were serious, but now you realize that what you're doing is you're not doing enough. Kind of like someone trying to be a weightlifter or something and goes into a gym and they kind of, this is good, But those professional weightlifters are like, you're not putting in the right amount of hours. You're not putting, just the right amount of, I don't know, whatever it is that they eat, or all that other stuff. In art, it's the same thing. You realize then that it takes much more much, much more than what you thought or what others made you believe that it took. I believe it's in every industry. It's just that ignorance is a bliss. So you stay at the beginning, because ignorance is a bliss. You stay happy. You're like, yeah, I'm doing my thing. I'm working in my studio. I'm gonna sell a painting. Blah blah. And then then that kind of reality, another level of reality, much more serious, steps in, and it's like, oh, you were selling one, now try to sell 10 a month. And you're like, oh, how do I do that? So it's very easy for happiness to kind of slip out. At least in those moments when you realize that. Reel it back inside. Keep it happy. Do whatever you need to do. Keep posters around. Listen to positive stuff. One of the things that I used to do, which I'm doing now, is I'm going on I bought myself one of those elliptical machines. I used to exercise when I was younger, and then I became kind of like kind of apathetic about doing that, and just let it go, And now I feel like, oh, that's part of something that I need to stay happy, because it's promoting, health, and I'm feeling better about myself, and my pants fit better now, and and those kinds of things. Whatever it is that brings you, Sometimes I used to keep a guitar. I don't do it anymore. It doesn't mean much to me, but I used to keep a guitar, and I used to play a little bit. It made me happy. Now I'm more in depth in my career and business, my art business. That those things kind of take away from that, from my that kind of time. They're not time wasters, but if you do it, but having it in the studio, it is for me. Just like having a phone in the studio is a time waster. This is This is outside my studio where I paint, but it's still considered my studio. So that's why you see this phone. But maintain a level, a high positive level, so that you can have happiness. Happiness comes and goes. Okay, I believe that. I don't think that anyone stays happy all the time. I don't think that's how it is. But you want to make it fun. You want to be able to keep it fun. You want to have more of that than the negative. And by all means, no negative if you can. If you're not happy, don't be negative. If you're not having fun, don't go for the other one. Keep it somewhere. Close to fun, happy. Keep it around that that level. And that's it. I just want to tell you that. It's very isolated many times. Especially if you're doing it all yourself, if you're wearing all the hats, if you're the Mad Hatter, as I like to call it, this any industry, you're a Mad Hatter if you're doing it yourself. You're putting all the hats. You're the shipper, you're the salesperson, you're the artist, you're doing everything. So that's another subject I want to talk to you about. But I'll just tell you right now, really quick. Don't do everything. When you get a chance and you get that self-esteem level up and some income coming in, start hiring hands for the other things that you need, for photography or whatever you need, other stuff. I'll leave you with that. My name is Jose Trujillo, and bam, I just nailed another one.